friends or coworkers, we're all in for cheering Fear the Deer. Nothing compares to the energy of Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action from the very beginning. Get your tickets now at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am your host, Kyle Wallace, and we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk in text line. Again, that is 833-212-1017. The Truth Talk in text line. You can call in, text in with any of your thoughts, any of your comments. I always encourage y'all to watch and stream us live on YouTube by 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure y'all give us a like. Make sure y'all give us a subscribe as we are on our road to 5,000 subscribers. Boy, oh boy, that is a great road. Shout out to YouTube Nation, but also shout out to Rhea Riley holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. I'm excited that it's Friday. I love Fridays. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think something happened to Friday. Somebody, I don't know. I'm easily people around here can make me mad easily. Felt like a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week, somebody made me mad and kind of ruined my Friday. I forgot what it was. I don't know what it was. But it is Friday. I'm excited. And before I get into the meat and the potatoes of the show, Truth Nation, I do want to say shout out to the Milwaukee Brewers. Shout out. Because yesterday on the show, I talked about the situation where the Karen went to the beauty salon and said, give me the racist one. and she said she was going to call ICE on somebody, and the Brewers decided that they both get kicked out. Now, the guy, he wasn't innocent. He called the woman out her name. He was belligerent. But he got banned from for AmFam Field, but he ain't even from here. He's from L.A. He's like, okay. Peace. But this lady's from Milwaukee. She's a Brewers fan, and now she can never step foot in American Family Field ever again. And I couldn't be more happier. Couldn't be more happy. I bet you the Brewers was listening. They fans of the show. They was probably listening. They probably said, we're going to do what Kyle said. You know what? We just going to do exactly what he said. That's why I'm wearing my Brewers stuff today. Even though we down 0-3 to the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm still wearing my Brewers shirt. I'm still wearing my Brewers NLCS hat because I'm still proud of my Milwaukee Brewers. But with that being said, today is 10/17 Day. Today is Truth Day. So happy Truth Day to all y'all Truth Nation. And I this is my first time being on air on Truth Day. So this is my first time where I actually get an opportunity to, share my story and share the journey. Why are you looking like that, Rhea Riley? You looking befuddled, confused. Yeah, did you say that on air or off air? She said it off air. She said, you're on Nothing But the Truth. I was not on Nothing But the Truth. I was on Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Shout out to Melanie Ricks. Make sure y'all download her podcast every Wednesday, 6 p.m. I was on Nothing But the Truth for about 4 months, maybe 5 months. So real story. I'm just gonna be very honest. It's Truth Day, so I'm gonna open up. What do they say? Open up the curtain so people can see behind. I should write a book one day. That's what I should do. So I could be a best-selling author. So real talk. At the time when they asked me to do Nothing But the Truth, we were talking about, okay, well, we're gonna take Mel off the morning show because of her schedule, and we kind of felt the tea leaves. We knew that Zora Stevenson from the Milwaukee Bucks, former sideline reporter, we knew that Zora Stevenson, that she was growing, and she's doing great things. She was growing where eventually she wasn't going to be with the Bucks too much longer. They understood that, and we knew Mel was filling in for Zora, so we understood that, okay, the morning show thing, we're going to make some changes, make some switches. We still want Mel around because she's phenomenal, great at what she does, has a great love for the city of Milwaukee. She's just a great personality. And so we said, all right, we're going to have her do this show. But, with that show, we think we want you to be in on the show. And I said, me to be on the show? I said, no, let's put Benjamin as the producer. Benjamin gets a chance to really, do more than just be a hype man for Tori. And we'll have him be on the show. And they're like, no, he produces, but we want you to be on the show. Now, at that time, I was like, okay, whatever, I'll be on the show with Mel. I played a role, you know what I'm saying? I think she can do it by herself, especially with Benjamin. But they're like, we want you to be on there. And little did I know. See, this is the one thing that, people should always be thinking about, is that when people in charge, when they're looking at things, they're not just looking at it from like, okay, this lens of, all right, we're focused on this show. No, there's a bigger thing in play. So I don't know when we started Nothing But the Truth. I can't remember. It's probably January or February or 2023. But what they were doing at that time, it wasn't about me being on Nothing But the Truth. It was about me getting more reps behind the mic, because I did a show, Sunday Karma, on ESPN Wisconsin, 10 to 12. I've been doing that show since 2018. And I've been opening up my mic basically since 2018, 2019. So I've been doing that for years. But they wanted me to get more reps every single day. And I'm like, I'm the director of content. I got to do all this stuff. So I just said, Mel, you tell us what we're talking about. I got so much going on. I can't do all this for this show. And so what I realized was, because only a couple months later, all of a sudden they're like, okay, so we're going to be launching this new sports show because, the VP Greg Scalzo, he used to have a show, Ben Bruss, who, if y'all watch Badgers basketball, he's a Badger basketball legend, went to a Final Four with Wisconsin. Unfortunately, they lost to Kentucky in the semifinal. He was the all-time three-point leader for Wisconsin Badger history for like a year or two before Bronson Canyon broke it. But they were basically having me do this show to get me more reps to prepare me for doing that show. I didn't know that. I didn't know what was happening, but that's what that was. So, yes, I was on that show, but I was never supposed to be on that show long. I didn't know that. I was like, okay. So that's the story behind that. But I do want to tell the story of the truth on Truth Day. So, Truth Nation, buckle up. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And make sure y'all also, again, turn up your radios or download the award-winning 1017 The Truth app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, because it's Truth Day, and I want to celebrate Truth Day because this is a big sentimental day to me. So off the top, I want to talk about Truth Day, 10/17 day, Truth Nation. I want to talk about how we got here today.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Again, happy 10/17 day, Truth Nation. And this is not our anniversary day. This is not the day we started. We launched January 4th of 2021. 2 days after that, January 6th happened. But we adopted this day as a way to celebrate our letters or our numbers of 1017 The Truth, but also to celebrate Black Talk Radio. Shout out to the folks who like Benjamin, who really pushed this idea. Carrie, Noni, Jews, Joe Brown. Not so much Joe Brown, more DZ. DZ really pushed this as well. 10/17 day to celebrate the truth, right? And Black Talk Radio. And I never really had a chance, again, to talk about this journey, but when I was first approached, I remember it was, I think it was end of May or early June of 2020, when I was approached about this idea that Craig Carmerson had, right? He had this idea where after he saw the murder of George Floyd, he said, what am I doing? He said, I own all these radio stations. I own 620 WTMJ, but I look at, ESPN, and I look at my stations, and yeah, we got Tony Smith on there. He's a former basketball player, but 620 WTMJ, he says, all white. He said, how am I in a city that's 40% black, but I don't have any black people on our stations? He said, I'm failing. I'm doing a terrible job. He said, I'm just as bad as the people that watched George Floyd get murdered by the police. And so he said, I want to start a Black Talk radio station here in Milwaukee. I want to be able to elevate more black voices. And so he just talked to me about it because I was one of his black friends. And I also worked on the show with him. So, we've been working together. I've known Craig Carmerson since I was 18 years old as an intern in 2009, going on 19. So I've known him for a while. And he just wanted to pick my brain because I'm from Milwaukee. I'm from the city. He's been around the city. He's like, I want to start this. I want to pick your brain a little bit. And so what I did was, I said I can support from a distance, right? I enjoyed my job before. And so I just gave him a list of, highly qualified African Americans in leadership positions around the city that I thought they should talk to, right? I threw just a whole bunch of names at him. And I just remember one day, Steve Wexler, who used to be the former VP of Milwaukee, he was talking to me. He was like, Kyle, would you want to run the station, like from a content perspective? I said, well, I have zero experience doing that. Zero. I don't know. I'm just a bored out. But I did have a master's degree, still do. And so he was like, no, I think we can do it. So I said, I went from working nights and weekends here at ESPN Wisconsin to helping launch the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And what my favorite part of this story is the recruitment part, because the first hire I ever had was DJ Brother Z. That was the first. DJ Brother Z was the first hire I ever had. He was one of the people I remember during 2020 because I helped recruit Zach to UW Parkside. And I saw him on social media, and I saw where his mind was at, things he was posting. And I knew he went to school for communications. I said, this is the brother we need. We need a brother that is young, who is active, who is what they call woke, who understands what is going on, who has a passion about, equality and justice. And so I was like, I need to get this brother. So I DM'd Zach. And then on top of that, then I said, okay, we're going to have to find some other producers. But I said, now I got to find these hosts. And so I'm brainstorming. I have my notebook. I got all these names. I'm going through these pages. I'm figuring stuff out. And the first name that came to mind for me, who I wanted to get, the first person I said we got to get was Tory Lowe. I said, I got to get Tory Lowe. Now, here's a little real insight. There was another gentleman named Frank Nitti around. Have we heard of Frank Nitti, Rhea? So Frank Nitti, what's your take on Frank Nitti? She said, don't talk to me. Okay, silence is golden sometimes. And so Frank Nitti did a lot of great things as well. But the one thing is this is one thing I will say about, again, people, right? When you're not in the community, like I seen Tory doing work for years. And then I Frank came and did some great stuff, but I was like, I ain't seen him around enough, right? And like, I want to do something that lasts a long time. I said, I can maybe call him, but I said, I don't know. I said, I feel like I want Tory Lowe. And he was like, I don't know if I know who Tory Lowe is, but I know who Frank Nitti is. But because again, Frank Nitti was leading the charge here in Milwaukee. He was doing a phenomenal job, and he was the voice that we needed at that time during 2020. He was one of the voices that we needed at that time at 2020. So they wanted me to reach out to him, and I kind of haphazardly did it because I was like, I knew deep down in my heart, I said, I don't know. I feel like Tory's the voice. So I did reach out, never got a call back. But I worked hard to get Tori Lowe, and Tori Lowe was the first person I wanted to get for this. So then I was like, what do we do for a morning show? So there's a couple people, Zora Stevenson, some other folks that I reached out, but I had identified Mel and Joe. I said, boy, if we can get that tandem on the truth for the morning show, that'd be something. So that was the other tandem I wanted. And then I said, well, I want to have new voices. So there's this gentleman, this fella named Sherwin Hughes. And so I had seen Sherwin Hughes around. I remember seeing Sherwin Hughes, I believe it was in the 2016 election. It might have been, it was 2016 election. Had to be 2016 election, maybe 2020. But maybe it was 2020. And I remember seeing him on CNN in front of the Sherman Phoenix. So I was like, I know this fella Sherwin Hughes, and I listened to some of his stuff, and I said, okay. But I said, he's already done it before. I said, I want us to get new voices, and I want us to get women voices, right? And so the next person I really wanted to go to, and I remember I hit up because I couldn't find her number. But I listened to her, and I was watching her on Facebook during the pandemic. I said, dang, this woman is good. Dang, she is good. And so, Rhea, can you guess who really the number 2 person? Rhea, we playing this game today. The number 2 person I wanted to get was, when it came to a black woman who has a strong voice on the radio in the community. It was Michelle Bryant. Listen, I was listening to Michelle Bryant. I was watching her streams. I was doing this research, right? I was doing all this research, and I said, boy, she is good. I said, I got to get her. And so I was like, how do I get in contact with her? I think I might have tried to reach out, and she didn't get back to me. And so I had to. And so Lena Taylor is an AKA. And so my mama know Lena. My mama and Lena is cool. Like Lena, her son who just won a lawsuit. Shout out to him, or maybe he's in the process of trying to win a lawsuit. But shout out to Lena Taylor, because also her son and my cousin are like, they super tight. They grew up together and everything. So Lena, good peoples. And so I said, I need Lena's number. And so I got Lena's number, and she gave me Michelle's number. I got in contact with Michelle. It didn't work out, because for me, I was like, listen, we got to find a lot of black women. I said, we need to have more black women on the radio here in Milwaukee. So I said, I got to get her. It didn't work out. So then, Sherwin did reach out to us, and I was like, yeah, I said, I want Sherwin too. He was good. And honestly, thank goodness Sherwin reached out when he did, because that would have been the worst decision we ever made, not bringing Sherwin here. Because Sherwin is incredible. I mean, I thought Sherwin was good when I listened to him. I saw him doing this thing on his computer. Michelle just had she got this energy about him. Like, Sherwin has the way that he goes about. He's witty. He's not like overly excitable, but his reaction on these cameras is amazing. The way he interacts with callers is incredible. I'm telling you, he is the best at doing it in GKB, which is Good Karma Brands. And I'll tell anybody that. I tell all the VPs, he's the best radio host we have in this company. But it didn't come through all the time when he was streaming on his Facebook. I felt the energy from Michelle and Sherwin. I feel like he's kind of, he's intellectual. He's really breaking it down. But boy, oh boy, yeah. But thank goodness he came here. Thank goodness, because he is amazing and incredible. So then it's like, okay, so I got my morning show. I got Mel and Joe. I got Tori Lowe. We got to figure out where Tori Lowe gonna be. We got Sherwin Hughes locked in here, and then we had some other people that we interviewed. And there are 2 of them. The afternoon show I really wanted. I still think this would have been a great afternoon show. 4 to 6. Dr. Ken Harris and Jason Fields. That was what I wanted. And I looked at it as like, so you probably don't know about this. There used to be a show on Fox News, but they got rid of, called Hannity and Combs. Sean Hannity, conservative. Combs, I think his name was Alan Combs, was Democratic. And I was like, boy, we get black folks, and we know Dr. Ken, he votes both ways, but he has a little bit more conservative values. He does. He votes for Democratic candidates all the time. But he has conservative values, and Jason Fields, we know, is a Democrat. And I said, oh, this is going to be great. So that was going to be my fault. That was the dream lineup, but then Jason Fields got a great opportunity to run basically the Madison economic region. So we fell on what we got, and it was fantastic. And for me, the journey has absolutely been incredible, and it has flown by the last 5 years. And sometimes I just wish I can go back and, some things to change some things, but then I remember, every new day is an opportunity to live out the vision that you have. And so that's why I just try to live in this day-to-day mentality. But I really do love this team with all my heart. Like, I really do, from the producers and to the host, to everybody. You know, shout out to Cherie Harris, our general manager, to the sales team that we had. And I mean, anybody on this team would tell you I fought so hard for this team when I was the leader of the team, because they meant so much to me. Like, they meant so much to me. And I'll be honest, listen, Ben and Carrie leaving, that stung me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still recovering from that. Still recovering from it. Like, I remember my girl, y'all gonna see it. I bought a jam. Well, I didn't buy the Jam with You shirt. My lady did, because she saw I was down in the dumps. I was down in the dumps for weeks. And she was like, I just can't see you like this. And Ben Jammin one time texted me, said, bro, I'm going to drop off your shirts. I said, what shirts? He said, the Jammin' with You shirts y'all ordered. I said, Jammin' with You shirts? I said, oh, my girl must be surprising me. And so to help lift me up, she bought me a Jammin' with You shirt. I mean, that's why I love her. I mean, because she knew I was down in the dumps. And it you know, I think it was... I don't think I'll ever get over it for real. But the one thing I did learn over time, because time heals all. I was mad. I was on a rampage around this mug. I mean, I was heated. But over time, what I learned, and what, you know, you get perspective after you take emotions out of it, because I was very emotional about it, right? Like, it was that was something that I was emotional about. But, you know, once time comes, everything heals. You realize that's just the business. Like, that, the business of things. And, you know, I look at 102.1 FM, which is a radio station that had been around here for years, right? And just like that, they found out within 2 weeks, hey, y'all going to be off air. We're going to turn into a Christian station. Gone just like that. 97.3 The Game, a radio station, which is used to be a sports talk radio station. They found out on air last Wednesday or Thursday, on air doing a radio show, and they find out via a press release that they ain't going to have a job this week, which is crazy. Imagine me doing this show 2 days ago and all of a sudden not doing it on Monday. That is not having a job. Crazy. So, I mean, that is it's just a business. So I feel blessed to be here today, and I feel blessed to have been part of this journey. And I don't know what the next 5 years holds. I don't. But one thing I can promise and guarantee is that for however long the truth is here, and hopefully it's for a lifetime. Hopefully we can be like WNOV and be around for decades. But one thing I will guarantee, and I promise, that every time you hear a voice on this radio station, they're going to be passionate about what they're talking about, but they're going to be passionate about the city. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel that, because they don't deserve to be on this mic if they are not passionate and care about this city. And I'll be the first one to tell them that. They aren't good enough if they don't care about this city and this community, because y'all deserve the most and the best. So with that, that is a little bit of background. Though a lot of times, Sherwin tells a story about how he came and all that. He tell his version of it. Danielle Hegwood? Oh. I mean, people knew her whole name. She was our former MC who just left us last Friday. Shout out to her. She came on the sales side. I didn't recruit her, but she came here because she listened to the station and she wanted to be a part of it. Rhea got here because Rhea applied for a job here, brought Rhea in. Carrie came, applied for a job because I sent something to MATC, and they said that they sent her to us. Ben Jammin was looking for a job. I thought Ben was crazy. I was like, I said, this man is a little different. We joked about him being on a short bus because him and his friend was riding on a short bus one time. Something off with him, but that's my guy.
That's your Gemini friend, huh?
I mean, you know, some of us Geminis got a normal side and a crazy side, and some of us Geminis have a normal side and a special side. He got a special side, but I love him. I love everybody on this Truth team, and I appreciate everything. But that is a little bit to celebrate 1017 Day, a little bit look behind the curtain of the recruitment. We got most of the people we wanted, and I think we're doing a phenomenal job. And thank y'all, Truth Nation, for always supporting us. But 833-212-1017. We come back. It's Friday, so I'd like to get a little spicy on Friday. And Steph Curry is a really good NBA player, one of the greatest of all time. He's married to a young lady named Ayesha Curry. And Ayesha Curry is constantly in the news for saying something, running her mouth about something, and getting dragged for saying something. And today we are going to examine what Ayesha Curry done said today and why she got the internet mad at her today. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walker. When we come back, we're going to get a little drama, a little spicy, as we talk about Ayesha Curry and about what she said about her man and how sometimes, you know, she wishes she, you know, didn't have kids and blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're going to talk about it coming up next. It's Truth to Power with Kyle Walker. Stay locked in.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretend conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31 of 2025.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Don't let a trade-in get in the way of the phone you want. Now you can get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in required, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at The Avenue. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and always give us a share, especially as we're on our road to 5,000 subscribers. On the other side, I talked about the fact that it is Truth Day. Happy 10/17 Day. And maybe on January 4th, around that time, I'll tell some more stories about the launching of the Truth. But with that, listen, Ayesha Curry seems to be a very controversial figure. And it seems to me that every time Ayesha Curry goes and does an interview somewhere or opens up her mouth somewhere, it seems to me a lot of people got a lot to say about what she says. And so I've seen a lot of hate on the internet for Ayesha Curry. And to be honest, I'm surprised by it. Like, I am very surprised by this. And to be honest, today, I want to stand up and protect Ayesha Curry, because the hate that she gets is stunning. And what gets me most is the hate in addition comes from a lot of black men. All right, and as a black man, I came from a black woman and a black man. I respect black women. Now, I'm not saying you can't criticize or judge or share your thoughts on people, but it just seems to me that it is always a lot of black men that got something to say about Ayesha Curry. The same thing with Michelle Obama. The amount of black men who love to take shots at Michelle Obama when she was the first lady and after being the first lady, or whatever comments she made, or even some of the weirdos that are challenging whether or not she was a woman or not, weird stuff I've seen on social media, is weird. And the issue I have is there seems really imbalanced about the criticism of black women that I see from some of these brothers. Kim Kardashian just went on a podcast earlier this week and talked about how Kanye West isn't around, hasn't seen his kids and this and that, to basically, I mean, that's to make Kanye look in a bad light. But I don't see people out there trying to air out Kim Kardashian the way they want to get after Ayesha Curry. Now, Ayesha Curry, it seems like every time she opens her mouth, y'all black men got a problem. And I remember back in 2019, y'all remember this? Remember when Red Table Talk was popping with Jada Pinkett Smith? And at that time, Ayesha Curry talked about her insecurities she had. She talked about some of her insecurities that we all have. But she talked about the insecurity of not receiving male attention, which many thought may be disrespectful to her husband. And I found that to be interesting because as someone who, I'll be honest, I like when a woman say, oh, he attractive. You know what I'm saying? Outside of my lovely girl lady. Now, I don't mean I want that woman, but when somebody think I'm attractive, it gasses me up and make me feel good. It's positive affirmation. We human beings. To know that people look at you and think you attractive at sometimes, that make me feel good. So if my lady was to say she like when men say, give her compliments, good, baby, because I know she ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, the one thing I love is whenever, going out, if men try to hit on a woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't go out no more. Or, buy a woman a drink. Like, well, I'm supposed to be mad. I remember one of the first times we went out. It was early on. So I was still trying to feel her out a little bit, and we went to go visit her friend. I remember some dudes went up to her, was trying to holler at her and talk to her, and I was like, oh, let me kind of see how she played it, because it was early. It was within like the first couple months. So, you don't know how people act sometimes, you know what I'm saying, especially when they've been drinking. And, she look over there, she good to drink, whatever, ha, bye, and, came right back over to me. And I'm like, that's how it's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. Now, that was 5 years ago now. But, like, that doesn't bother me. So seeing some of these men get upset about, oh, Ayesha Curry wants to have other men, hit on her. Like, shut up. You do too. And if you had the chance, you'd try to talk to Ayesha Curry as well. I don't know why we acting like this. But then look, somebody giving a thumbs down. But then recently, Ayesha Curry was back in the news. She joined a podcast called Call Her Daddy, and she was talking about her marriage and what she saw her life to be and what it ended up being. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube to hear Ayesha Curry's comments on a podcast called Call Her Daddy about her marriage.
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
833-212-1017. That is Ayesha Curry, the wife of Steph Curry. And her comments there caused a firestorm on social media and the internet of people being upset saying, oh, she's not grateful for being married to Steph Curry. Oh, here she go again talking about her private life. Oh, she needs to get her a therapist and get off these podcasts. 833-212-1017. Should Ayesha Curry have kept this conversation between she and her husband or a therapist? And 833-212-1017. Do you think Ayesha Curry making these comments about wanting to have other men look at her, or Ayesha Curry potentially, saying, I didn't really want to have kids and I really didn't want to get married. Do you think she is embarrassing her husband, Steph, or she is oversharing? 833-212-1017. On the other side, I'll take your calls. I'll take your texts. I'll have Rhea join in on the conversation, but I'll also share my thoughts on this conversation. It is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. And is it a problem for women to overshare or to speak their mind or talk about how they won't, even though they married, they wouldn't mind other men, hitting on them a little bit? 833-212-1017. I'll take your calls. I'll take your text next. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace right here on 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Bucks basketball is back. A brand new season of big games, electric matchups, and unforgettable moments starts now. There's nothing like Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The energy, the thrills, the slam dunks, and buzzer-beating three-pointers. Don't miss your chance to be part of all the on-the-court, cheering crowd, fear the deer excitement. Get your tickets today at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Packers are on their way to the desert to play the Arizona Cardinals as they look for their first away game W. That game begins Sunday at 3:25. The Brewers are one game away from losing the NLCS, now down 3-0 to the LA Dodgers. They lost yesterday's matchup 3-1.
Kicks the leg and deals. Struck and not swinging with that splitter. The Dodgers take game 3. Final 3-1. And they have a 3-0 lead in the championship series against the Brewers.
Game 4 begins today at 5:08 p.m. You can listen to the game on 620 WTMJ Radio. Badger Volleyball takes on 25th ranked UCLA tonight in Madison. That game begins at 7. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth Nation, listen, if you are looking for auto insurance, if you're looking for homeowners insurance, there's no better place to look than American Family Insurance. And the great thing about American Family Insurance, you can get home, auto, and life all bundled into one, and you can save money. Especially during a time like this, you're always looking to save money. So why not do it while working with American Family Insurance? They are local. They are right here in the state of Wisconsin, and they have been supporting us for years. So if you're looking for home insurance, auto insurance, or life insurance, all you have to do is visit amfam.com today. That is amfam.com today. And what I love, when you go to amfam.com, guess what? You can just get an instant quote online. Or if you like me, you like to talk to people, figure stuff out, get a nice little breakdown in person, guess what? You can find an agent near you. They are all over the city of Milwaukee, so you can find someone that fits your needs. All you have to do is go to amfam.com today. American Family Insurance. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Make sure y'all go and y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. As we're talking about Ayesha Curry, the wife of Steph Curry, and how she gets so much hate from so many black men every time she opened up her mouth. It seems like black men always got something to say when this sister opened up her mouth. But again, Kim Kardashian has something slick to say about Kanye, and I ain't heard the pushback. I ain't heard the internet going crazy. I ain't heard black folks trying to defend Kanye West, or black men trying to defend Kanye West. Y'all be tearing down Ayesha Curry, and I just don't understand. I'm going to get to the calls at 833-212-1017. But I do want to just discuss, for me personally, right, when I hear comments about like that, I don't understand what the big deal is. I feel like we live in this fake-ass world, there's this fake-ass reality of, oh, women's supposed to do this, women's supposed to do that. Trust me, I'm a traditional man. I've talked about it before, but I also believe in strong women. And so I don't see a problem with Ayesha Curry discussing that there was a time in her marriage where she might have been unhappy, that she might have been thinking about other things. That's called being relatable. That's the realness of what relationships are. And there might have been a time where, man, probably didn't like each other. Hell, listen, there are some days I'll be like, listen, move, okay? I grew up in a household, let me tell you, I would never forget one time, because my brother plays soccer. We all play sports. And my dad loves to record everything. I mean, that man records everything. I think I talked about the trauma, how he lost a lot of his childhood pictures when he was from when he was a kid, when he was probably like in his 20s. And so he takes pictures of everything, records everything. And I never forget one time, my brother and my dad were watching some old videos. Or no, my brother and my mom were watching some old videos of my brother playing soccer. And on the camera, you heard my mom yell my dad's name, as she always does. And all I heard my dad say from the other room, because he just heard her voice, he said, "What?" And it's just funny because he just heard it on camera. It wasn't my mom even asking for him, but it's just a natural reaction, like, huh? They've been married for 40 plus years. 40 plus years? Yeah, 40 plus years. And so what I'm saying is people going to annoy you when you buy them. You can look at somebody and think, you're getting on my nerves right now. But for y'all to think that she owes Steph Curry something for giving up her dreams and her ambitions in her career is crazy. Like, y'all got to understand is that when Ayesha Curry was young, and like a lot of people are young, you don't know what you going to do in life. You don't know who you going to marry, but you dream. Steph got a good one because he married a woman that had dreams and ambitions to be great. If y'all don't think these women that marry NBA players don't have these dreams and ambitions to do something great, to be something special, to achieve a high position, y'all crazy. Everybody ain't out there saying, I want to grow up to marry an NBA player so I can make babies with them. And especially when we talking about these black women who are some of the most educated folks out here. They aim high to achieve high degrees, high positions, because that is what fulfills them. Being a mother can be part of what you are. Being a father can be part of what you are, but your own personal accomplishments also fulfill you as well. And a lot of these black women are driven by personal success. And as a man who was raised by a black woman who got a master's degree, and I got aunties who got master's degrees as well, I love a driven individual. And so I appreciate a woman who wants more in their career. So when these wives of powerful, influential men go out and talk about their experience, y'all got to remember, they're human beings. They're relatable. We shouldn't be trashing Ayesha Curry for talking about what's real. Yeah, maybe she didn't want kids. She got pregnant and she had to switch it up. If you think just because you have kids, and I don't have kids, but if you think just because you have kids, all of a sudden the things that you want in life are just going to disappear, that's crazy. That's not real. People still want to do things for themselves. Like, yes, their kids come first, but raising children ain't the only thing that's going to bring people happiness. So y'all going and jumping down her throat for talking about how she didn't want to get married at some time and how they had a kid and she had to change different things. Yeah, that's real. If you had a whoopsie baby maybe at 21, you probably like, wait a minute, I wasn't trying to be a dad right now. I had other things I wanted to do. But 833-212-1017, I done went on a rant. The town, Milwaukee, what are your thoughts on Ayesha Curry?
I don't think it's so much from what you're saying as so much like you putting out too much information. And like, come on, man. I mean, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. You know who that man was. You know who that man daddy is and his brother. They play ball.
Yeah, they high school sweethearts, I believe.
You're knowing this. So we not. Well, I'm speaking from one black man perspective, and plus two, you don't want your girl out there spitting all that, or maybe they do. Hold on, maybe they do. Maybe they baiting all of us so they can get some clicks. Because it seems like that's what all the celebrities is doing right now. The celebrities.
You don't think some people just like sharing their stories, just talking? I mean, these are real conversations, though, right? Like what she said. You
real
said
conversations.
Yeah,
it's real conversations that they gonna get clicks, and them clicks add up to money. Why you before the celebrity, they relish in their anonymity, the little that they had. Now it's reversed. Why would they do that? They're doing that for money. It's an ulterior motive. It's like so you honestly think that she's saying this stuff because I just want people to know my life and just know about me and just know it's me and I'm just like you guys. Come on, man. That sounds dumb.
Okay, all right. The town. Everybody got a right to their opinion. That's the town opinion. But 833-212-1017. Eastside Corey, what are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, hi Kyle.
Hey, Eastside Corey, what's happening?
It's my first time calling your show. Make a note, ring that bell.
Yes, thank you for calling.
I wanted to thank you for taking the time to acknowledge the 10-17. I didn't get it at first. It took me a minute. That is October 17th, correct?
Yes, that is.
And I haven't called your show because I wasn't sure if I was politically correct enough to.
You good, Corey? You good, Eastside Corey? But we short on time. Yeah, you good? Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Well, I don't really know who this Ayesha Curry is. I've heard of her, but there's a lot of people out there I don't know. I hear their names, but it comes with age. There's so many great people out there. Unless she's done something significant, I really don't care what her opinion is. But I do notice that, and I'm glad to hear that, I do agree with you that more women on the radio, black women particularly, is a void that is filled with this station. And I do miss Carrie and very much. And I just have one question about her, she and Benjamin. Was it their choice? Yeah.
Was it their choice? You're gonna have to call the higher ups to ask that question. I don't have the liberty to answer that. Boy, oh boy, Eastside Corey, he was banned, and this is how he come back. He ain't answered the question. I don't know who Ayesha Curry is, and I will say this: He said, you love how we have women. We don't have enough black women on this station, period. I mean, that is, I am extremely disappointed by the amount of black women we have on this station, and we need to get more. That's how I feel about that. But, Rhea, I do want to get a black woman. I do want to get your opinion on this Ayesha Curry story. And I see y'all going crazy on YouTube. I see y'all in the chat as well. Somebody called me a simp in the chat. Said, you a simp? I said, I guess so. Marcus also said at some point they would get divorced. But, Rhea, when you hear stuff like this and you see the pushback, and I'm sure you see them on YouTube going back and forth, you probably see the talking text line. As a black woman, when you hear somebody expressing themselves like this and you hear all the animosity, all the pushback they get, what goes to your mind? What goes to your heart?
Mind your business, first of all. And also, having a child and being a mom is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of time to do it. And ask your parents, ask your community and the women in your community. They can tell you raising children is hard. So it is a full-time job, whether you got money or not.
It is a full-time job, and it's a stressful job. But the whole reason why I am still not married and single at this point in time, no, not married, single, and no kids at this time. That's what I'm not single. I meant to say not. I'm not married and I don't have children. It's simply because I'm too selfish for all that at this point. Do y'all understand how big of a change it is to basically say, I'm about to marry somebody else and this is the rest of my life? Y'all know how scared I am one day. I'm just thinking about it, like, damn, these next 5 years are the biggest 5 years of my life at this point, because by that time I'll be married, I have kids. Like, my life is going to change. And I'm like, there's going to be somebody dependent on me. Like, it's one thing to have an adult depending on you, but to have a child dependent on you growing up, and as my little cousins continue to get older. Like, I got a little cousin, he's 16 right now. He just turned 16. I'm like, boy, you can't drive. I remember when he wasn't even here. It's weird. The older you get, it's like, oh my gosh, these little babies become these grown adults. And so for me, I just can't fathom, like, actually having to be responsible for a child like that. Like, that's crazy to me. So to think that we gonna knock Ayesha Curry for saying, I didn't really want to have kids, I didn't want to get married, but here I am. That's not a bad thing. And yeah, you know what? Some people say, well, keep it inside the house. You ain't got to keep it inside the house, because guess what? There are millions of people out there that hear what she is saying, and she is resonating with them. And they may make them feel more validated in their feelings. And if people in the world need validation, and if hearing somebody talk about, hey, I'm going through the same stuff that you go through, this is how I cope with it, and it makes somebody feel better about their situation, then good. But 833-212-1017. We'll wrap up the show on the other side. Keep it like, y'all funny on YouTube. Make sure y'all go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Some of y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like Ayesha Curry. But we're going to keep talking about this on the other side.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo! God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella Windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31 of 2025.
Hey, Journey team, it's me, Coach Erica. The clock is ticking. Are you being intentional each day? Is your mindset in the right place? Are you financially planning for your future? Do you have life insurance? What are you waiting on? Allow me to assist you on your journey to success. Visit ericaodomjourney.com today or email me at ericaodom@odomhomes.com. Let's take this next step together.
School's back in session. Kids have their backpacks, school supplies, and new clothes. But are you ready as a parent? Families are the single most important factor in a child's academic success. This year, get to know your child's teachers. Stay engaged with their learning. Don't be shy about asking questions along the way. Because as a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher. Learn more about how City Forward Collective is helping families, students, and schools thrive at cityforwardcollective.org.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, the host of Truth to Power, and we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue here in downtown Milwaukee. And I'm reading the chat line, I'm reading the text messages, and what I'm seeing is it seems to me that the issue that a lot of folks have here in Truth Nation, again, this is what this platform is for y'all to share y'all truth. And again, I'm not right. This is just an opinion. And it seems to me that a lot of people are irritated. It's not just about her comments, but how she's constantly talking about this. And for me, when I see somebody constantly talking about something, if it's just relatable, then it is what it is. She's sharing her truth. She just feels comfortable with being open. And what triggered a lot of this is that Killer Mike made a comment about something that Ayesha Curry said, and Steph Curry checked him. And after Steph Curry checked him, the rest of his family checked him. Was like, hey, you were out of line with that one. You shouldn't have said. And I love Killer Mike, great hip hop artist, but a great activist as well. And something I'll talk about is the power of an apology, because he actually said, I apologize. I messed up. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have been in other people's business judging their relationship like that. And I think what gets lost in all this is that Ayesha Curry is a phenomenal wife, a phenomenal mother, and a great human being. And so while we sitting here judging her because she's maybe too much of an open book for some, obviously it don't bother Steph. He obviously okay with it. I mean, he's still holding it down in the crib. He ain't losing no sleep over this. And so I just think that sometimes we as black men, I guess we as a community, are entirely too hard on black women. And with that being said, Truth Nation, I appreciate y'all chiming in and y'all tuning in today. I really do appreciate that. The Tory Lowe Show is up next for Wonderful. Next week's going to be a fun week. I already know some of the topics. One of them going to be Tierman Spencer. I'm so sick of these folks coming after Tierman Spencer. We're going to talk about that next week and so much more. But Truth Nation, I love y'all. Y'all have a safe and beautiful weekend, and peace out. I'll see y'all next week.
And let your feeling flow. Raise up, yourself together, and drive that funky soul.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn.